Hi everybody! Hi, welcome to this week's edition, or episode I should say, of Indie Beauty TV. It's great to have you here. I think this is our 21st episode this year, so it's really exciting. My name is Rachel Whittaker and I'm the host of Indie Beauty TV, and I'm also the founder of the Indie Beauty Delivers community, which is like a super cool place where all you guys who are launching and growing your beauty brands can hang out. You can kind of network with other beautypreneurs. You can learn loads from me, learn loads from the other professionals and experts that sit in the community, learn from each other. It's an absolutely awesome place to be. And you can join that community on loads of different platforms. So obviously, if you're watching this, you know that I exist on Facebook. So do click like and follow me here on Facebook. I also have a Facebook group called Indie Beauty Rocks. Please go join that. I'm all over Instagram, one of my favourite platforms. So do follow me there. You can see all my posts on the grid and you can stay up to date with what's happening behind the scenes on my stories. I have a really cool email group that gets a blog every Monday from me, which is always packed with usable tips, things that you can use straight away in your business. So if you want to be a part of that very private and very special email group, you sign up for that on my website. There's a button which just says sign up for my blogs, so you can go and do that. I've also got a YouTube channel, and I would love you to go and subscribe to that because this is new. I've only just launched it, a TV channel just for beautypreneurs. It's going to be amazing. And what's going to happen over time is I'm loading up all of the Indie Beauty TV episodes that I've done so far, and all future episodes will end up on there as well. So you'll be able to access all of those episodes all in one place, loads of knowledge, loads of tips, loads of advice, loads of interviews with industry experts. So it's really worth you going and signing up for that. And when you sign up, a little bell comes up. When you press the subscribe button, a little bell comes up next to it. If you hit that bell button, then what will happen is YouTube will just notify you every time I put a new video on. So rather than you having to go and keep checking whether there's a new video from Rachel on YouTube, it will just tell you, and you can go over and you can have a look at it. So yeah, like I said, this is the 21st episode of Indie Beauty TV this year. It's been such a roller coaster ride. Today it's a solo show, so it's just me talking to you today. So I hope you don't mind that too much. And I'm going to talk to you about beauty tech. I'm going to go techie. I'm going to go all techie on you. I'm going to talk to you really about what's happening in the world of beauty tech and how it's defining the future of beauty and why it's relevant to you. Because I think some of you will be thinking, well, yeah, you know, is this really relevant to me? But it is, and I'm going to explain to you why it's going to be relevant. Next week, just in case some of you can't watch the whole of this video, I want to get this in straight away. Next week, I've got an awesome guest again. I am getting together with my super duper friend, Yvonne Radley, who is an absolute whiz when it comes to helping independent brands get into the press. So we're talking about your local press, your national press, glossy magazines, TV, radio. Yvonne is an ex-journalist and she teaches this stuff to brands, and it is incredibly useful. And, you know, none of us should overlook the power of what we kind of really look at as traditional press now, but there is an awful lot of great exposure and power in that. So Yvonne is going to be joining me next week. It's going to be Thursday, I think, at 3 o'clock. We'll be doing a live broadcast together. Watch out on my grid and on my stories and here on Facebook, because I'll be telling you more about that early next week. But put a little thing in your diary now so you don't miss it. Okay, on to our topic today. So I'm talking about beauty tech. So I went to In Cosmetics Global earlier this year and went to a talk on beauty tech. I've got to be honest, I have completely forgotten who the talk was by, and I can't find my booklet to tell you. But it was a brilliant talk, and I took quite a lot of notes. And I've been doing a lot of research around this because it's an area of the industry that quite interests me. And so I wanted to kind of bring it to you guys in a bite-sized way, and also sort of explain to you why it's really relevant to you. So first off, I think it's really important for us to understand now that we live in a really technical age. There are generations out there now, particularly the millennials and the Gen Zs, who know nothing different, which kind of blows my mind a little bit because, I mean, I wrote a blog this week and in the first paragraph, I admitted to my age in a very subtle way. But I said when I started out working, it was in an age before social media. In fact, incredibly, it was in an age before email. It was just on the cusp. I'm not that old. It was just on the cusp of when emails were coming in. But so my generation, so Generation X and the baby boomers, we have grown up in a world without tech, but there are huge amounts of people out there now who know nothing else. And it's highly likely that part of the demographic that you're working with, your ideal customer sits within, are from these generations which know nothing different. And so that has a really big implication on the way you as founders design your brand, essentially. And when I say design, I mean everything from quite literally the design of your packaging through to the way you present yourself on social media. But what's also really interesting now is that even if the demographic and the ideal customer that you're working with sits more in my generation, so the Generation Xers, or a generation back as the baby boomers, we are increasingly influenced by tech. Because the millennials and the Gen Zs are influencing us. They're pushing us up. They've introduced all this technology with smartphones, with tablets, and we enjoy it as a generation. We are picking it up, and actually we're becoming much more reliant on tech ourselves. We just take a look at your own life and see how much tech plays a really important part in it. So even if your demographic is a Gen X or a baby boomer, you still need to understand the implications of tech on the industry, because those people are becoming more and more techy. So this is something I think that can't be ignored. This is an entire social revolution, and it affects everything that every brand does from this moment forward. Whether you are a huge multinational brand that has budgets and teams of people who can deal with this, or whether you are a solopreneur like most of you guys are who watch me, tech is important, and understanding how that affects your business and how that's going to affect the way that you design your business is really, really important too. So at this talk that I went to, the guy who was giving the talk had accessed a rather large survey, and it had brought up a rough kind of percentage that 37% of beauty consumers were being influenced by a form of tech when it came to making decisions about what they were buying. That's pretty huge when you think about it. As well over a third of the people who are out there buying beauty are being influenced by the techie side. And I think that includes social media, not just typical tech. So that's really significant. It's really significant, guys. And that's why, you really have to be thinking about this and be aware of this within your business. So the tech influence for of what's happening kind of now and how that's defining the future really fits into 3 different categories. One is HyperPersonalization. So this is that personalization trend that we've seen coming through in beauty for quite a long time now. The tech angle has really given brands a way to do something quite special in that area. The second area that tech is having a huge impact in beauty is on what they call beauty wearables. So these are pieces of kit that we wear and that we can use to help us with our beauty regimes. And that's really about giving consumers the opportunity to be quite experimental in their beauty. And the third area that tech is really beginning to make a difference is in shopper journeys, whether that's an online shopper journey or whether that's an in-store shopper journey. We are seeing tech making trying to make the lives of beauty consumers much more convenient, bringing convenience into it. And we're also seeing the tech redefining the way that the high street is looking. So 3 key areas there that we're looking at: hyper customization, beauty wearables, and also how tech is defining and reshaping the customer journey. So let's have a look at hyper customization first of all. So as I said, we've seen this trend for personalization creeping into beauty for quite some time. It's all about delivering real value to your consumers, being able to make them feel very special, very valued, and just delivering above and beyond what traditional beauty has offered before. And the way tech is defining this is mostly through the use of data. So we're talking apps that are gathering data and algorithms that are churning through things in the background. And there are lots of brands now who are looking to do that. Now, you might think that it would largely be lots of big brands who are looking to do these kind of things. And there are, and I'm going to list a few in the moment. But I always like to show you guys that there are more independent brands who are accessing this technology and making a difference with this technology. So there's a Scandi brand called True North, and they have developed their brand off the back of an app that helps people to decide the best skincare that they need for their particular skin. So we're not just talking tech defining beauty through the big heritage, big brands with money. There are smaller independent brands who are embracing this challenge, hence why you need to be aware of it, and developing their brand off the back of some of these tech innovations which are coming and entering our market. So check out True North, go and have a look at their website, see what they're doing. It's really, really interesting. I saw him do a talk at Professional Beauty. Really interesting backstory there. So do go and have a check out of those. So a few other brands who are, if you want to check out how this kind of hyper personalization is creeping in through tech, a couple of other ones to check out is Neutrogena. They are launching imminently, I believe, a paper mask that is customized to fit your own face. So again, it's apps, it's technology, it's data, it's algorithms that they're using to analyze your face, to analyze your skin type, and they're going to make masks which can be printed off, 3D printed masks, which not only fit the contours of your face, so you don't get your look, you know what it's like when you use paper masks and they never quite fit, do they? You look like some kind of Halloween creature by the end of it. That's going to go away. It's going to fit the contours of your face perfectly, and it's going to provide targeted skincare to the areas of your face depending on what your own needs are. So absolutely hyper personalization, being able to think, I need a face mask, and having one that's printed off to fit your face and to fit the needs of your skin at that given time. So check out the Neutrogena masks. The other one that I think is quite interesting to go and have a look at is, I think you say it, Opta Beauty one. I think the brand is called Opta. I think OPTE with one of those things. You can tell I'm dreadful when it comes to, is it a Grav or something like that? So Opta, and they've developed a beauty wand. Hi Corin, it's lovely to see you. They've developed a beauty wand, and what this beauty wand does is it targets spots and hyperpigmentation. So you kind of put it on your face and it finds the bits that aren't right, very technical, the bits that aren't right, and it corrects them with a sort of a pigment that comes out and a finishing serum that comes out. So you end up with kind of flawless skin that's completely customized to you and your skin tone, only in the areas that require it. So, the theory is you don't have to plaster yourself with, with foundation or something like that. And it looks very, very natural. So that's how we're seeing, tech really make an impact in this area of personalization. And what it's making, personalization has always been a challenge to the industry, hasn't it? Because it's so personal, it's one-to-one. It's how on earth do you cope with being able to help everybody in their own individual way. So what the tech is giving you is the ability to do that through the use of data and algorithms to make that far more achievable and far more manageable. And yes, the big brands are taking this up, and the big brands who've got the money are spending it and making some stuff here, but the independent brands are doing it too. And so it's worth going to check out True North and just go and have a look and see what they're doing. And I'd love to know if you know any others that are doing it. But do go check those out. So first area that tech's really hitting into is that hyper customization. The second area that I said that tech is really having an impact in is beauty wearables. So what we're talking about here is the wellness industry, isn't it? It's the Fitbits, it's the watches, it's the bracelets. Previously, we've seen these very much around steps, fitness, mileage, drinking water. Oh my God, they tell you, the other day, my phone updated itself. And all of a sudden, I now have an app on my phone that's telling me to drink water every half an hour. Terribly annoying, but I have to find out how to switch that off actually. But this is a growing trend. People really enjoy these kind of wearables, these apps that help them to bring more well-being and control into their lives. And beauty is going the same way. Beauty is accessing it now, and they're saying, "Hey, hold on a minute, you wellness people, you fitness people, we can get in on this act." So they are sort of developing all sorts of different techie wearable stuff that can help you. So for instance, again, I've got examples here from the big guys. I don't know of any examples yet coming through from the more independents, but check these out. L'Oreal has got My Skin Track UV and My Skin Track pH. So these are like wearable app things that will help you to work out, whether you're getting too much sun, whether the pH of your skin is correct. So again, it's to do with that hyper-personalization as well, but it's to do with that wellness and sort of managing your beauty in a more kind of natural way, and being able to make decisions about you in a very personalized way. Another one that we're seeing come through is there's the Oral-B Genius toothbrush. So it's not quite beauty, but it sits quite nicely in here as an example. And what that's doing is it's creating a personalized brushing routine for yourself. So as you use it, it's sort of creating this personalized routine. So again, tech really beginning to creep in there and pick up on some trends that have become very big outside of beauty, and beauty's going, hold on, we can have a piece of that. So we're seeing a lot of that sort of thing coming through in beauty, and I think we'll continue to see that area develop even more actually, particularly around this kind of UV area, potentially pH, the water levels in your skin. I think we're going to see sort of, alarms and activations and things going off if you've been in the sun for too long, all that kind of thing. Love it or hate it, I'm not sure about it, but that's the way, that's where it's going. The other way tech's really having a big impact on our industry is it's starting to really transform the customer journey. And whether this is a customer journey that's happening online or whether it's a retail destination journey, it's affecting both. What really excites me is that the impact that it's having on our physical retail outlets. And I think the future of our high streets depends on beauty tech. And the reshaping, remodeling, redefining of the physical beauty store, the physical beauty experience on the high street is going to save our high streets. It's going to continue to make beauty something which is available in store. And we only have to look at what's happening here in the UK. We see that Boots have just taken out over, I think it's about 30 stores, isn't it? Their new beauty platform, which is much more about being a beauty playground. You go into these stores and there are experimentation areas. There are places where you can try stuff. There are people there to help you be much more personalized. It's a really inviting modern experience, and that is being absolutely controlled by tech. It's all the tech behind the scenes. It's all the tech that you can go and play on in the experimentation areas. It's all tech. We've seen it in Sephora. Sephora have Sephora Studios, which again are these wonderful playgrounds where you can go in and it's all tech. You know, you can put your hands on things and it tells you your skin tones and things like that. So tech is absolutely changing the way the high street is looking. And I think for a good thing, because beauty needs something on the high street to keep surviving. But, you know, tech is also being used to make customer journeys better online. And this is definitely something that you guys can be tapping into. You'll see lots of bolt-on modules that go with your online shopping now, which will help you to use tech and data to improve your experience for your customers. So things like little bolt-on apps that will help make suggestions to customers. Say that they've bought something, say they've bought a toner, and a little app will then come up and say, actually, do you know that we've got the most amazing cleanser and moisturizer that go with that? And if you buy the three together, you get them at this price. So there are apps that will do that. That's beauty tech, guys. This is tech defining how you work. You can have little things, messages that might pop up if you offer shipping at a certain value. So you offer shipping at £30. A customer puts £25 worth of product into the basket. They go to checkout and a message will pop up and say, do you know you only have to spend £5 more to get free shipping? How many of them are going to go back and spend that extra £5? Almost all of them. That's beauty tech that's available to you as independent brands. You just need to speak to the guys who are running your, whether it's Shopify or WooCommerce or whoever else, BigCommerce, and find out what they can do in this area to help you. So there's all sorts of tech that's out there and available to you to make your customer journeys better. You just need to be asking your suppliers to find out, you know, what they can actually do in those areas. So although when we think tech, we think it's really only open and available to those bigger brands, it's not. There's so much tech available and out there for you. And I truly believe, and I would truly encourage all of you to look at how you can embrace tech and bring it into your business, because it will drive customer retention, it will drive sales, it will give you something different in the marketplace. There will be independent brands who will be holding back on tech because they don't think they've got the budget, because they're maybe not brave enough to embrace it. So if you can do something in this area, that's a real point of definition and a real point of difference. And tech is here to stay, whether we like it or not. Our culture is going to continue to get more techy, not less techy. So if you're building a brand for the long term, if you're building a brand for the future, if you're building a brand that you want to sell, that you want somebody to come along and buy, then these are the sorts of things that you seriously need to be giving consideration to. What I haven't touched on today is social media. That does also come into tech, but I'm going to treat that in a slightly different way. But you know, being on social media is definitely part of the tech that you need to be embracing. So I just wanted to finish off by giving you a few hints about maybe where tech is going. Even after all that mind-blowing stuff I've just told you, it's going to go further. So a couple of things are happening imminently. In fact, I think one of them's happened already in some areas. So we have 5G coming along. I am not a technical person, so never question me too deeply on this. 5G is rolling out, and I think I think it's already started to roll out in some places. So this makes everything much faster on our phones to download and things like that. So we're going to be able to access more augmented reality, more virtual reality. Perhaps we're going to see things like virtual mirrors appearing on our phones, which help us to do all sorts of different things. But 5G makes those little things in our hands much more powerful. So watch out for things and brands starting to do things in that area. We are also going to be looking at, or one of the predictions is that we're going to go even more hyper personalized, and we're actually going to start looking at people's DNA and using the apps and the data and the algorithms to create beauty products which are actually tailored to your genetic makeup, which is pretty mind-blowing. It is a new frontier, isn't it? Tech is a new frontier, and it defines all industries at the moment. More so now than perhaps ever before, because our tech is changing and increasing and improving and getting more detailed at a rate of knots that perhaps we've never seen before. So it is important. It is important, guys. However small you feel, and I hate using the word small, you know that, but even when you think these things are out of your reach, there will still be tech that will help you improve your business, and really start to have a look at that tech and roll out what you can when you can afford it, so that you are keeping you're setting your brand up for the future, and you are keeping yourself aware of these things. As a founder, you need to be aware of these things. Even if you can't necessarily do anything with it at the moment, you need to have it in your head. You need to be thinking about it. You need to be aware of where our industry is going. Your brand is a brand for the future. You need to know what's happening in the future. And you need to be trying to get your hand in a little bit on wherever you can. That's me. That is Indie Beauty TV this week. I do hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, my name's Rachel Whittaker. I am the host of Indie Beauty TV, and I'm also the founder of the Indie Beauty Delivers community. You can follow me everywhere: Facebook, in my Facebook group, on Instagram. Go sign up for YouTube, so that you can watch all these Indie Beauty TV episodes whenever you want without having to search for them. And don't forget my amazingly special email group, everybody. Go sign up for that. It's on my website. Just sign up for my blogs. That's how you get on that list. I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear your comments. So if you watch this back and you want to leave any comments, just pop them below in the comments, because I'll get straight back to you. I think it's a great conversation. I've got some really interesting things. If you know any brands that are doing anything interesting in this area, post them below, and then we can have a little bit of a chat about them. Anyway, have an amazing weekend. Mwah. Loads of indie hugs and love to you all. Bye.